going to show you how to create report by list of patient by gender. We go to create report. Now we have report wizard, report design. So this is just like form. Okay, exactly very similar to form. Now I'm going to do report wizard. I'm going to say list of patients by gender. So pretty much just create a report out of the table. Alright, so I may not want to include ID. If I don't want that, you can just put it out. And any grouping by gender, right? And sending by last name. And after just do by his first name. So this is just the layout. You want to look at step it like that, a block or outline. So let me just maybe see what we get from step it first. Name the report. List of patients by gender. There you go. So it's got group female. These are the list of female patients. These are the list of male patients. And again, you can always go to the design view, change the color, go to the property sheet, background color, change the title, because this by default is picking from the fields, right? When you do the fields happen to have the underscore and things like that, right? And then you might want to fix that to make it look neat on the report. And this is now, I mean, date and time now. Now let me, yeah, you can also do the logo. You can just insert the logo, which is the logo of your organizations. Alright, so I'm going to just use what I have for now. Maybe it looks funny, but just an example. Like that, right? Now, I want to do this too. I should be able to get the counts by gender too on my report, right? So report can do like statistic report too. So let's take a look how do we do that. So I'm going to go to create the report wizard again and patients, right? You see, we can create a report out of the query itself too, out of the table, right? So now we can just do from the query. Now, the same thing, group by gender. This is pretty much the same report, but you have an options to do the statistics. Grouping options. I don't see the statistic. Normally they have the buttons here where you can do. So let me try again here. Let me change it to table. Next, group by gender. Priority, let's do we just have one group. Don't have statistics here. Alright, so let me just show you how to do statistics then. Now we're gonna come back to the report itself. Now we can manually do it too by switching to design view, and I'm going to increasing the size of the details here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to insert the field that I can do the count as statistics. Right, so if we manually insert count, you have to pick the fields that you want to count. Like if I want to count the patient last name, then I can just do count records. Okay, and then you can just insert label too, and then you can just say count. And let's see what we get. So we have 3 and 4, and this is the total 7. So we have 3 female, 4 male, and total 7. And of course you can always go back and redesign. What I'm going to do is I'm going to insert the label, say total count. Alright, so that's how you generate the report. Right, so to show you another report, another queries. So we're going to create, so let me save this. I'm going to create a query, and this query is going to be something that I need for the invoice for the patients. Then I'm going to do a query design this time. And now think about invoice, we need the patient name, we need to know where patient live, right? Then we can mail the invoice, and we need to know patient phone number, and we may need to know patient email, right? So you may see that we deal with only patient information. We deal with 4 tables so far. We also need address itself, 5 street address, zip code, right? If you want a city, then you need to add zip, right, to name the city and state. And also we want to know what are the medication that we prescribe to the patients, and its price, which is coming from the medication table with the cost, price. And then we should be able to do the report. I'm not sure how many tables we need. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is it everything? Almost, right? I think that should do. Let's see. Now we start with what are the fields that you want to show. You may see that it starts to be more complicated. The easier way is just pick the patients table, and I want to show last name first, or maybe ID first on the receipt. Maybe we don't need ID, last name. Go to patient table again and go to first name. So we have patient last name and first name on your invoice. And beside that, we can do the address, then we can mail to the patients, right? So address, go to the easier way, just pick the table address and street address. And if you pick zip, you can have the city. Pick zip for the state, and we want address to show the zip code. Alright, let's see what we get first. Do we already get what we need? So those are the field. Now I wonder why we don't see any data, so let's deselecting this and see if we see any data. You may start to see that when we're dealing with multiple tables, relationship is very important here. If you're missing one thing, then the data will not come. So how do I relate the address to the patients? So if you look at address table and the patients, so I need to have patient address in here, which is patient ID, address ID, right? So let's include those patient. So it's going to be from patient address table, which have patient ID, and patient address table, which has address ID. Like we're supposed to see some data. If it's not, that means this query doesn't work. So let me try to create a simple query. Okay, create query design. Let me do this. I'm going to use the query wizard to help this time. First, query wizard. So let's name it. Let's save the old one. Query 1. That's fine. This is a query wizard. So we do a simple query wizard, and we said we need to deal with patient table. I want first name, last name, and I need to know patient address. So I need to include those fields to make relationships, which is going to link to address table. So go to address table. So address, we can have street address and zip. So let's just include this to the city, right? Zip, we have, let's include the ID that we make relationships to zip, primary city, and the state. Okay, let's see what we get from this first. We can do summary. You can do statistic report if you want to, but now we only want to see the details. I don't see anything here. Maybe our relationship didn't create it yet. So let's go back and check the record. Have we assigned patient to address? Do we have any information on address table? Address 123. Let's assign some zip code. Like I said, if you don't have information, then you're not going to see it showing up. If the relationship is not right, then you're not going to see it showing up. Patient address 5263, patient ID 56, patient address 2 and 3. So if I drag and drop and do one by one, it should work fine like that. Okay, now if I want to include, let me show you, I want to see the city and state, right? So I drag that zip in, zip, go to the primary city,